This week's item is from religionnewsblog.com, May 27th, 2007, with the headline, Test for Psychics in Salem. The following are excerpts. Lawyers have the bar exam, accountants have the CPA exam. Should Salem's fortune tellers have to pass a test of their own to prove they're psychic? City councilors hoping to crack down on fraudulent fortune tellers are trying to define exactly how a psychic can become licensed to set up shop in the witch city. They want candidates to undergo a criminal background check and to either live or run a business in Salem for at least a year. But many psychics want the city to go a step further. Make sure they're actually qualified to predict the future. It's become a free-for-all, said Lori Cabot, the official witch of Salem. Anyone who says they're psychic can come into the city. We don't even know where they come from. We don't know their qualifications. For more than 3 hours this week, city councilors listened to 24 witches and psychics, many clad in black and wearing pentacles, as they explained the tools of their trade. There has to be criteria or you're going to get garbage coming here, Barbara Safretsky, the owner of Angelica of the Angels, predicted. What are the criteria? Asked a baffled counselor at large, Joan Lovely. Is there schooling? Counselors are considering requiring psychics to submit a 5-year employment history and their educational background before their license is granted. Doug Johnson, a psychic, noted there are nuts out there, people that are not mentally there. He wants candidates to show their experience and training before becoming licensed. The city took up the issue almost a year ago, mainly to prevent fortune tellers from blatantly ripping off consumers by demanding lucrative payments in return for lifting a curse or removing a black cloud. City councilors modeled the regulations after those used by San Francisco, which licenses between 30 and 40 fortune tellers. But they ran into trouble trying to define the practice of fortune telling and opted to scrap a line referring to it as casting spells, removing curses, and administering potions to recover property, stop bad luck, give good luck, put bad luck on a person or animal, shorten a person's life, make one person marry or divorce another, induce a person to make or alter a will, or tell where money or property is hidden.
Is this a joke, Tom? Where do you find these things?
Oh, Dave, I mean, is this any less absurd than The Secret? No.
Same thing.
But,
Except nobody licensed those people that wrote that.
Well, some of them, you look at all the so-called degrees that they have, they sort of have credentials, or at least that's what we see.
Not credentials.
That's what they promote.
Not credentials to tell you that you're God.
No. But Dave, like The Secret, and this is what I was alluding to, that by asking, well, how does this work? I mean, there are so many holes in this stuff, you could drive a Mack truck through it. Now, we have Lori Cabot, the official witch of Salem, and she says, anyone who says they're psychic can come into the city. We don't even know where they come from. We don't know their qualifications. Well, wait a minute. If she's a psychic, she wouldn't have any problem with that, should she?
She should be able to expose all the phonies.
Of course, but and then licensing, you're going to license a psychic?
Well, the city's got to get their cut, and they've got to control this thing because, Tom, there are kooks out there. And
well, that's what they say.
Yeah.
Some of these psychics are accusing other psychics of being nuts. Now, Dave, Salem, Massachusetts, it's got a history. And it's almost like they're capitalizing on one of the biggest tragedies, really, in the history of this country.
Tom, we've dealt with this sort of thing in the past. I've written books about it. On the one hand, Satan cannot foretell the future. Mm-hmm. God points to his ability. God points to his ability to foretell the future as proof that he is God. On the other hand, what about the assassination of Robert Kennedy? Sirhan B. Sirhan. He wrote it in his diary by automatic writing. You would find that in a book called RFK Must Be Killed. RFK Must Be Killed. He wrote it in his diary, and he gave the date. In fact, it happened on that day. Now, does Satan know the future? No. He can only foretell disasters that he creates. In other words, you go to a fortune teller, well, you're going to have a horrible wreck in your car next Thursday or whatever. Well, Satan could go to work and make that come to pass, possibly.
Well, Dave, let me give you another example. There was a bridge over the Ohio River. I grew up in southern Ohio. And psychics had predicted that this bridge was going to collapse. And it did. The thing that was interesting was when the engineers checked out the problem, they had some of the main strengths of this bridge were below the surface of the road. And as cars throughout the winter, back in Ohio, they would salt the roads and so on. And this, over a period of time, the salt was deteriorating the structural part of the bridge. Now, Satan can know that. He can recognize things that are about to happen and then tell his minions. Or the minions themselves can know this.
Now, Tom, there are things that do happen. There are guys that can visualize something far away. They've located down to aircraft. They have located bodies,
Right.
But
remote viewing, I believe it's called.
Remote viewing. It has been documented. Well, we know that there are demons everywhere, and if you are open to this, they can use you. But it's not infallible. It's a far cry from what the Bible tells us. When Jesus said to Philip when Jesus said to
Nathaniel?
Nathaniel, thank you. When Jesus said to Nathaniel, before Philip called you, I saw you under the fig tree. This is not some kind of a psychic thing. This is a demonstration that he is God. And Nathaniel said, my Lord and my God. But Jesus didn't say, oh, wait a minute. Just, a couple thousand years are going to write a book called The Secret. And that'll tell you how to do this. Or, it's just the human potential. It's in all of us. Don't call me God because I can foretell the future or can see things far away. This is a normal gift that we all have. You just have to learn to develop it. That is not biblical. I will stand on the Bible because it proves it is God's Word.
For more information about the Berean call us toll-free at our order number or visit our website